Kat Rockwell.
And I'm Quentin Rockwell. We're married.
And we work together.
Well, kind of.
This is Working Together-ish.
Welcome to Working Together-ish. I am Quentin Rockwell, and with me, as always, is the lovely and talented Kat Rockwell. You know, I think I need to give myself. I tell them that you're the lovely and talented. I need to come up with something.
You should, but then you sound arrogant.
I am what I am. It's all good.
This is true. This is true. The confident Quentin Rockwell.
It sounds kind of weak. It sounds like let's help with self-esteem.
This is true. You are confident. You are kind. People love you.
Oh God, please.
We're coming to you from the headquarters. Rockwell.
Move on.
We're coming to you from the Rockwell team headquarters in Houston, Texas. Sounds super official, I know. But today's episode is arguing at work.
It's something that everyone, all walks of life, we all kind of suffer from that.
Suffer.
It's suffering.
I think this was our most requested show because it's the thing that we really don't talk about, but it happens. I'm not going to say constantly. Maybe we're just an outlier with that. But when you work with somebody long enough, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that your relationship is over, whatever that relationship is. Doesn't mean that things have to end. Maybe this is, most people get that. For me, it took me a bit to get that, to understand that. You know, just because we have an argument doesn't mean you're going to divorce me.
No,
okay,
I'm kidding.
So there goes my confidence. but no, it's just one of those things that, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's just kind of, let's scale it back. It doesn't mean that the business and that the enterprise or whatever you're doing is over.
Sure.
Because, I mean, it's going to happen. Whether it's sometimes if it's not a spouse or not like some sort of relationship like that, sometimes it seems like it's just more, I don't know, intense when it is.
Right.
Like for somebody else, it's like you can, get in an argument with your buddy or whatever, and like, well, screw you too, man. And then y'all just kind of go cool off, come back. But it just sometimes it seems like it's more intense with your, a loved one or something.
Yeah. So, and this is, again, that topic that you don't see it discussed a lot. Maybe close friends, so you don't see it discussed a lot. And we'll get into it later on, but there's not a ton of resources out there.
Get into it.
We're going to get into it later on. If you are just now joining the show, our first section of Working Together-ish is called 3 Questions. We should have a musical introduction for that, I feel like. It's 3 questions, 3 questions, 3 questions. Ta-da. No, okay. Our first section is called 3 Questions, where Quentin and I will pose 3 questions to each other. The other person has not read or seen these questions prior to the podcast.
So when you see me kind of, it's because I'm actually thinking about that question because I have not seen that question.
I even offered to him today. I said, do you want to see my questions ahead of time? Like just to speed it up a little bit. Do you want to?
No.
Okay.
I'd rather not because I think it's just kind of the reality of, we say it's not seen. Well, then this is what happens when you don't.
Live with integrity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's, you want realism. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
After that, we will look at what the internet has to say, which actually wasn't a ton. I've got some good things for us today, but, let's look at the internet, what the internet has to say. We'll critique it. We'll have fun with it because that's what you should be doing with the internet, I think.
Yeah, you shouldn't be using it for actual factual things.
Yeah, I learned that in college. All right. Okay, so do I get to go first today?
Yes, go.
Fantastic. So, Quentin, question number 1. Now, I feel very confident about my questions today. Okay. I'm very excited. Okay. First of all, what do you think most couples who work together argue about? We're going to keep it PG, too.
I don't know. I'm going to say it's argumentative or arguments about some sort of miscommunication.
Yeah.
Something. where like one person seems, I don't know, maybe they seem like they just feel like they're disrespected, or 'cause I know I get kind of ticked off when I feel like I'm disrespected about
Hmm.
something. Um, and I don't know, I would say probably, and you may not have meant it to be that way, and most of the
Right.
time you haven't. So,
Right.
um, I don't know. I'd say probably some sort of miscommunication.
That's probably most of the time. And then something small, a simple miscommunication turns into something rather large. And especially if you're working, if you're having a stressful day,
Yeah,
then it just escalates because all of the stress of everything else
just
just
kind of blows up in
piles
your, yeah,
on.
blows up in your own face.
Right. Because most spouses typically have different kinds of communication styles and are
Mm,
typically opposites.
yeah.
Like typically, not everybody, but typically opposites. So what is disrespectful to one person, the other person doesn't really understand
Hmm.
why it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think in our cases, because at work at least, you like to talk and I do not like to talk. I don't like to use my words.
Actually, whatever. We can argue right here.
Let's go. So we're gonna have our live
A
demonstration
live
for
demonstration of an
everybody
argument,
of an
because
argument.
I don't really want to talk that much at work. I mean, it
Yeah.
depends on, sometimes I just don't want to talk. Sometimes I'm just like, you're using words and you just keep talking. Will you please just stop?
Yeah.
I mean, and not just you, anybody, some
Anybody.
people.
I think it depends on what you're doing with
Yeah.
work at that time because there's going
Yeah.
to be times where like I'm bogged down with something and you're not or vice versa
Yeah.
and I'm just like I just can't.
Or yeah, or like one of us is trying to figure out a problem, or excited about something. It's just one of those things. What are you looking for?
Oh, I was looking for a nope sign. I don't think the folks watching on YouTube, I don't know if they can see it, but we have nope signs that we put out since we work in close proximity with each other.
Which you don't
I
use very
know I
often.
don't use it as much as I should. Like
Yep.
when you need like time to yourself and no interruption, we just put the nope sign on our computer and that's the signal to be like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And you're right. I'll do better about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gee. So okay. So miscommunication is what most people would argue about, or what starts an argument.
Yeah. That I would say that.
Question number 2.
Okay.
Why do you think we argue so quickly with a spouse and not other coworkers? So you were sort of talking about this a few minutes ago.
Well, I think it gets a little bit more complex.
Mhm.
I think sometimes you're quicker to jump to that because, you may be intentionally or unintentionally have something in the back of your head it's like, well, when she normally says that, she means this, and I can't believe she means this, and da 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 da, or whatever it is. I mean, I think sometimes there's that. Sometimes there's, you're apt to take things a little bit more personal from somebody that is
Mhm.
that close to you.
Sure.
I think it's just kind of a wide variety of things,
Right.
and I mean that, and then you typically have. I mean, I'm not going to say it's just, you're more comfortable with your spouse, but I mean,
Mhm.
I think it's just kind of a wide variety of just different reasons why. But it's just with more intense of an emotional attachment, the more intense of an argument or a perceived whatever it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think it's
next question.
okay, I know.
No,
I realize like I'm also throwing in my tidbits like answer okay, but I won't.
you're answering for me.
But I will. I will
Hmm.
answer
Answer for me. That's great.
my
Yeah,
opinion
yeah,
though.
and she doesn't talk, and yeah.
My opinion is also to add to that just expectations that may or may not be correct.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
like you should know better.
yeah, I think there's kind of a wide. It's like I said, it's a wide variety in different mixes of all of that
Mhm.
in different things. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's I don't know. I think it's maybe a little bit wider
Yeah.
of a variety of potential issues, I guess,
Yeah.
than it would be if it was just like you and your bro.
I mean, I got tons of bros
Yeah.
and we never argue. I don't have bros. If okay, Cool. Third question. While we're arguing at work, if you could switch me and replace me with a professional wrestler, a professional male wrestler, who would you switch me out for? Dead or alive, it doesn't matter.
I don't know. I never thought of that. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't because
Well, no, that's the question, but you have to because that's the question.
well, I don't know. Because well, I mean the wrestling personas that the persona they put on TV and whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, yeah, like WWE wrestlers.
I don't know. Maybe somebody I can smack in the face with a chair or a table and then them not get hurt.
Okay.
No, I don't know because if I were to switch you out with somebody that like that has that persona or like one of those personas,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just one I honestly have never thought about that because I've never wanted to do that. But I mean, and if I did, it would. I don't know. I just don't see any good happening with switching you out with one of those personas. I don't think anything good ever would ever happen.
You've been watching too much politics lately
Probably.
because you didn't answer the question.
Well, I didn't answer your question with stating another question.
You basically said, I said, who would you switch me out with? And you said no. That was your response.
Okay, you could take it as that. But I know really wouldn't switch you out with anybody because I mean I don't think that would be any good. Doesn't get me any closer to getting what I want without
Okay.
pummeling somebody with a chair to the face. So, I mean, at least I know they're not going to die because those dudes they know how to take the hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I tell you that I knew? Well, most people know like a semi-pro professional wrestler, but it was like he.
Do most people know that? Do most people like they know them personally?
Yeah, know somebody who's.
I
done
don't
it.
know a professional wrestler.
Yeah, you do.
Who?
Well, don't worry about it. But no, you've known people in the past, and no, but I mean, the thing is, what I was going to say is, it's like, I remember I was asking him, I was like, dude, does it hurt when you get hit in the head? He goes, oh God, every time.
Yeah.
And he was like, every time, but you know how to take it, and you learn how to take it. And I was like, but just what about all the blood and all that stuff? He goes, man. But he's like, well, there's like he was explaining like there's a certain vein, and they'll just start kind of doing stuff just that bleeds a lot and makes it
Yeah.
like all that. But he was telling me, he's like, man, one time I took a chair wrong, and I didn't have my head down like I was supposed to do,
Mhm.
and I had my head up and like hit him right in the eyebrow, and there's like his eyebrow like all like just split,
Yeah.
and he started bleeding. He said, man, I passed out.
Yeah.
It's like he's in the middle of the ring, and all of a sudden, and passes out.
All right. Well, I'm going to
But
jump on my Facebook to see what professional wrestlers I know. So,
you probably know some, or I mean, like semi-pro, like not like or like amateur wrestling.
I have
guess.
no, yeah. I mean,
There's a lot of.
I mean,
amateur
I
wrestlers.
know I have friends who are like MMA fighters but not
Okay.
wrestlers.
But no, there's a lot of like amateur wrestling around in this area.
Would you wrestle? Would you take that up as a hobby?
No way.
No?
No,
I feel like I might.
I wouldn't.
No.
I mean, you can if you want. Well, one, you got to be really acrobatic and
Uh,
really athletic, and because I mean, you got this big giant person flipping around, and they're really flipping
mhm.
around. I mean, yeah, you got to do that, and then too, because it hurts.
Mhm.
I mean, it legitimately actually hurts.
Yeah, I'm not big
And
on that.
yeah, no, because like when I went the first time I went to go see a professional wrestling was WCW. I saw these big dudes. I knew they were big, but when I saw them in person, it's like, geez, they're like really big.
Yeah.
And like they were taking blows that weren't on camera or weren't, but it hurt. And you could it just sounded. You could hear all this stuff smacking around, and they wouldn't even flinch.
Yeah.
But then when the camera's on them or whatever, they'll take like a little, and they're ow, and all this stuff. No, it really
Yeah.
hurts. So for that alone, I wouldn't do it.
It's a fantastic tangent. So couples are gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna learn about like getting better at arguing and learning more about that. And they'll be
MMA.
like, This is how to take a hit.
Yeah, but
Professionally.
no, I wouldn't do it. Why, you really would?
No, probably not. Probably not. I think I'm too tired in life for that right now. But the concept seems interesting.
No,
Honestly, I've never even been to a WWE
really.
event. I probably have not watched an entire airing of WWE ever.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I've probably watched maybe a combined 30 minutes of professional wrestling
You've seen
in
pretty
my
much
entire
most of it.
life. Yeah.
No, I mean the athleticism is good. The stuff they do, I mean, it's very admirable.
Right.
I mean, just the athleticism, and not just some of the blows that they take that are legit,
Mhm.
but anyway, sorry, we need to stop talking about wrestling. Okay,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
it? What are you're wanting to do? What the internet says?
No, you have to
Oh,
ask
I
me
know, because I was like,
questions.
I thought I had to ask my question.
You need to ask me your questions.
Okay, I'll ask you my questions. And actually, my questions are actually a really good segue to what the internet says.
Okay.
So it's ironic.
Okay.
So I was trying to figure out questions. I couldn't think of questions, and I wanted to think of questions that would be kind of like what questions to not ask someone when they're angry. Um, but anyway, so I came across a huge amount of stuff online that was um, to ask questions when you're angry at a loved one. And I mean, like, I'll show you this dude's photo. I don't really want to get in this. I mean, hey, kind of give me
That's an
your.
actor. That's the guy from
No, it's
uh
not.
uh
It's that dude. It's not an
what
actor.
was the movie No Country for Old Men?
No.
Is that do you know who
No,
I'm
no.
talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. I know who you're
Who
talking
am I
about.
what's his name cuz I can't recall.
I can't remember, but yeah, no,
Okay.
no.
Same mustache. Okay.
Yeah, let's not put that on display.
Okay.
You're Vince Neil. That's who it is. It's Vince Neil. Okay, so when you're angry, don't you think you're overreacting?
Wait. Did you find this in an article that says to ask these questions or to not ask these questions?
I don't know. Do you?
Because if you asked me that when I was angry, that probably wouldn't be a good question to ask.
Okay, what about?
Hold on, no, I want to answer that.
Okay.
Do I when I'm angry, do I think I'm overreacting?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe sometimes, maybe 15% of the time I may understand cognitively that I'm overreacting,
Okay.
but and the other 85% of the time it's either I'm not overreacting or I will realize it at some point that perhaps it was an overreaction. So out of that 85%, 50% of the time
This is a lot more explanation than
I
I
will
thought.
I will later realize that I overreacted. And the other 50% I will
This is way
not.
more explanation than I
Okay.
thought. Okay. Okay. So, well, when you're angry, why don't you just calm down?
Um I think that is actually
Why don't you just calm down?
I think that's a fact that eventually people calm down
Well, why don't you just calm down?
right then and there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when you're angry, what's wrong with you?
Somebody has offended me and not just like you disagree with me therefore you offended me. Like most of the time, what should you take care of first, right? What, like hungry, angry, tired, stressed?
Yeah, or something like that.
There should be an acronym for that, I feel
I
like.
can't remember what it is.
Yeah, like evaluating other things. So most of the
I was gonna say
time,
act fast, but I think that's for
that's
stroke.
that's for stroke. Either way,
Can
act
work.
act fast. Um, if what was the question?
Oh, why don't you just calm down?
Oh yeah, no.
No. What's wrong with you?
What's
That was
wrong
it.
with you? No, most of the time, I'm usually stressed about something else, and
Mhm.
then like
That's a
something you
trigger.
say or something
Get
just like
triggered.
sets me over the edge.
Get
Yes.
triggered.
Triggers are real though.
No, it
Like
is.
triggers are for real.
No, it is. I think it's just one of those things that people just. Well, anyway, I'm not going to get into
Yeah.
battle of semantics, but yeah, no, they are definitely real.
It's the battle of semantics.
Sunday night,
On this week's
no
episode
holds barred.
of Battle of Semantics. In one corner, Quentin. He has a double major from HBU in music and theology.
And then the other one, well, I was going to say in worthless degrees, but anyway, but no, okay, so
That's our next podcast.
yeah, I wanted to go a kind of segue because it's ironic. It's kind of a segue. I know we didn't plan this.
Okay.
But I was trying to find out, trying to look for questions that you should not ask somebody when they're angry and all this other jazz.
Yeah.
And I was like, couldn't find anything on what
Mhm.
not to ask.
Mhm.
Not even like an ironic, funny type of thing. But this dude, I came across his. This is for them where I got most of mine. He's like basically you don't when you're angry, you don't need to do any kind of demand. Like calm down, be reasonable, stop yelling, back off. Well, I'll do the stop yelling. It's like bring your voice down, bro.
There you
And
go.
yeah, no, it's like that's my command, whatever. But then, like any time of challenge of contradiction, of like you're wrong about that, any kind of cute euphemism for you're angry, like don't get your shorts all wadded up or something like that. That's what he
Who
said.
still says that?
I don't know.
Don't get your shorts in a wad?
Yeah,
Like, do people still say that?
I guess.
Like you're Bart Simpson or somebody.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, but no, but he kind of goes through a bunch of stuff. It's like just kind of what's your problem? What's wrong with you? Don't say those types of things. Or
uh-huh.
what do you want me to do about it? Any express like any sort of lack of empathy or any deep or like depersonalizing their problem. Like, well, those are the rules, or this doesn't concern you, or you're overreacting. Anything that diminishes their issue.
Right.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, like the first thing that I'm like, if you, like when I am mad,
Yeah.
the thing that'll set me off and all my rage will come down on that person is if they're like, "Hey, calm down." Like,
You're like
oh,
challenge accepted.
challenge accepted. I'm about to explode on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me with that. But I was trying to find something on.
Can can you imagine like professional negotiators, like hostage negotiations?
Calm down.
You're just like, hey, I think what we need to do here is just all calm down.
Yeah, and I can't remember that.
Chris Voss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'd say I read, but I listened to his book on Audible like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's really good, and like I watched part of his masterclass that he did. I wasn't able to be for some on like the last one, but no, he has a lot of good things on how to kind of de-escalate the tension,
Yeah.
and that's the big thing. It's like if you can kind of de-escalate the tension, you can kind of bring everything down, and sometimes that just means I don't know, just kind of you
Yeah.
chilling out and calming down.
Awesome. Well, thanks for segueing us into what does the internet say? And I appreciate the fact that you do not ask those questions
Oh yeah, no.
when we're arguing.
Well,
And
what do I? Well, I don't know. Am I picking at the bear when I say, well, what do I ask that ticks you off?
I I don't think you I don't think there's something specific that you ask. I think there's just times where I don't want to talk
Mm,
and you want to talk and I don't want to talk. So I think that's it. Like I just need space. I need
thus the space today.
that's the space today. No, we do have more space than usual. But I just need my own little quiet time, like my own little time out. So I can also calm down and then
Kind of decompress.
yeah, decompress, prepare my argument. No. No, for real. Like I just need time to just settle down and then come back and communicate calmly. Like that's it. And you are more of a you want to be, and if I think I'm fair in saying this, you want to make it just efficient. Like you just like powering through. Like, no, let's just get this over with.
Yeah, get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done. Move on. Move
And
on with life.
so we're really different on that
Yeah,
spectrum.
and as you would probably surmise, some ice.
Some,
Or
some
you put it
mice.
together that because we're so different, because I just want to power through it and just get it done with, and just kind of just fix this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fix it, move on.
Mm-hmm.
And even like that type of let's fix it, move on. That scowl, I'm just get through with it. And you need like a little bit of a just kind of a time away,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of get yourself in control, and then just kind of that makes some tension.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think too, like then you start getting into this. I mean, it sounds like such a just ugly word, but like this control, like who's going to control the argument?
I don't,
It sounds so much worse than what it actually is,
it
but at
really
the same
does.
point, it's like who's controlling the dialogue? And when one person takes them out of like there's takes themselves out of the dialogue, then it's removing power from the other person. When in fact, that very well may be the best thing to happen is like, okay, let's just like,
No, you're wrong.
I mean, but no, this is such like a topic that's, uh, the thing is, we're talking about arguing,
Mm,
you know, bringing it to light mainly, just
yeah,
because, again, it happens.
yeah.
If you work with your spouse, it happens 10 times more than other couples
I mean,
because you're constantly around each
yeah,
other
yeah,
all the time.
yeah. Because like before we started working together, 6 years ago,
Yeah.
6 years ago. Yeah, this month, 6 years ago. It was like I could never imagine getting frustrated with you, and like all these people that I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Because I never saw you. You
Yeah.
had your job and you were going and doing your thing for however many hours a
Yeah.
day, and then I had mine, which was drawing me over here for however many hours a day, and then at
It,
one point in time, like our schedules were completely opposite, because
yeah.
I worked like at late nights, and
Yeah.
you were working during the day, and then it would literally be pass off the daughter,
Hmm.
give a kiss, all right, talk to
And
you later, bye.
just to remind our audience, like we've been married this December 19 years. So it's not like
Yeah.
we were in just this honeymoon phase
No,
of
no, I
of
mean
I can imagine. Like no, we've
12,
it
13 years well, 14 years
yeah,
together. But I mean, yeah, like 14 years together of
at that
at
time.
that
Yeah.
time, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's definitely not that honeymoon,
Yeah.
starry eyed. I don't even remember having
Uh-huh.
that phase, because I always kind of figured whatever.
Yeah. And for most of those years, we also only had one vehicle. So carpooling
Oh, for the last
together.
6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So carpooling together, riding in the car together, like that just again multiplies it. That's going to be a whole nother show by itself.
Oh
I think
God,
riding in the car together.
she's horrible to. Whatever. We can
Talk,
get into that.
that's a whole different
Yeah,
episode.
that's a whole nother episode.
But it's so funny because it's like even like in this room we can feel like even though we're doing this podcast it's for fun, we're bringing this to light, and at the same time we're talking about these things, and it's like just feeling the like argument setting the vibes.
Yeah, we're about to argue as soon as that camera stops.
Turn it off. You did this. No. Okay. Well, a few more things about what
Yeah,
the internet
go
says.
ahead.
So again, there really is not a ton out there for couples who work together and how to deal with arguments at work. So we'll just add our own things at the end. But uh, so the balancesmallbusiness.com, I Lael Wolf. I've never seen this first name before, so I apologize for Lolly
Whatever.
Wolf.
Call her Lolly.
Okay,
Or him
Lolly Wolf.
It sounds
Lolly
happier.
Wolf.
Lolly.
I'm so sorry. You're probably a lovely person. Wrote an article about 6 tips for working alongside your spouse. And so I would approach this as more so like how to prevent arguments. The first thing is be nice to your partner, which it's so simple as that though, because sometimes, and by the way, I think everyone needs to do this with all of their coworkers. There's sometimes it's not just you, but I'll just walk down the hallway in the office and see somebody that I see every single day of the week. And like I just stare at them. Like I don't say hello or hi, or if I do, it's just hey. And there's no smile. There's no like, hey, I'm so happy you're alive and we get to see you today. There's no greeting. So I think
Mm,
just simple acts
I'm
of,
bad at that.
yeah, like I see you every day. Why do I need to go out of my way to be nice? But what if everyone did that?
Yeah, I need to do it more. I
Yeah.
mean, I say people, I'll pass, hey, good morning, Barbara, or something like that. You
Yeah.
know,
That's actually so we have a wonderful lady who works down the hallway from us and we pass her every day, and actually she's a person I love saying hi to
oh yeah,
the
she's awesome.
most. So, listen to your partner.
All right, what?
We just both don't talk ever. We just listen. Understand your partner's business style. Okay, that's a big one right there.
Yeah,
Understand your partner's business style, their communication style, like their work ethic and how they do their thing,
yeah.
and understand it and embrace it.
It's
So,
like because I know for a fact that if you are going to be on your phone, I cannot be in the room when you are on that phone because you are the loudest talker on the phone in the whole freaking world, and I have to. You are. We should. I need to call Guinness. Um, but no, I have to go away because
yeah.
you're going to be so
And
loud.
it's not just on the phone. Now it's Zoom calls,
Oh
especially if I have
God.
earbuds in.
Oh, especially yeah, Zoom calls and especially with yes, especially with earbuds in because then yeah,
I'll
man,
agree with that. Okay.
I
Help
just leave.
you do you just leave the room. Help your partner. Ask if they need help. If they seem stressed, like, "Hey, is there anything I can help you with?" Because you apparently need to calm down.
Yeah, well, and I was gonna say sometimes that's even still kind of annoying,
Mhm.
but it's like it's annoying, but it's an annoying that it's like you're trying to be nice, so it's like no.
Right. Right. Set aside business free time and basically define when you're not working
Yeah,
with your spouse. Like your off time really needs to be your off
I was
time
gonna say
just to help with
we've
stress.
we've both been really bad about that,
Mhm.
and I've noticed that we've both been a lot better about that, and at least in being responsive to the other person. So if I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, when you're on your phone or doing something like, hey, we're here, pay
Yeah.
attention. Sorry, click.
Yeah.
Or and it's the same thing, or it's. I mean, sometimes even like I'm ending, or you or I is like, well, I've got to send this text, and then I'm done,
Yeah.
and I send it, go put my phone away, like sometimes across the room.
Right. Okay. So one last article, and that is from the Houston Chronicle.
Oh God.
All right. Well,
I
that's
mean,
fine. Oh my
gee,
goodness. Why
yeah.
are you hating?
Well, no, just some of the stuff, and I've seen and some of the writers.
All right. I'm picking really difficult names, authors.
Yeah, no, they've had some good stuff, and I do need to give them credit for that.
Yes.
I really do.
Okay. So from the HoustonChronicle.com, Chickanauga,
What?
Chickanauga, um, for an article, Problems
No
of
clue.
Working with Your Spouse in the Workplace. So again, always some things that lead up to arguments that are preventable, always putting business first.
Hmm.
Okay. Unclear roles, like you don't have clearly defined roles on what you're doing and what the other person's doing, or clearly maintained roles. Taking conflict home
Mm.
and then spending too much time together. So, I mean, pretty much all the basic stuff. I think there are some super simple things that spouses can do to avoid arguments. And one of those things is having space, like their own space,
Hmm.
unless they're in, like, we work all in one office and there's just times where we just walk out of the office and go to a different area,
Yeah,
or one person works from home that day, and space has so much to do with it.
yeah.
Um, what would you say? Just people need to focus on to prevent arguments.
Well, I mean, it goes along the line of like even marriage counseling and all the other anger management type of things, where it's like assume goodwill.
Mm.
type of thing. Assume that that person that's getting under your skin, or is just wrong place, wrong time type of thing.
Right.
Assume that they did not intend to do that, and that goes a long way with to help, I guess. I don't know, just
Yeah.
assuming that they're not trying to do something. They're not trying to be irritating. They're not trying to get under your skin. They're not trying to be whatever it is. They're not trying to do that. I
That's a
mean,
good one.
yeah. I mean, sometimes, I mean, I'll be honest about myself. Like sometimes I'll be frustrated. I'm dealing with something. I'm whatever it is, and then it doesn't. No matter what you do,
Mhm.
it's going to irritate me. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
whatever it is. And I literally have to. I walk away.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't say anything. I'll just walk away, and I'll just kind of go collect my thoughts, collect myself, and
Right.
then I can come back
Right.
and whatever. But anywho,
That's good.
but yeah, I think that's about
Yeah.
all I can think of to say.
So we would love to hear from you also. And I know it's sort of like a touchy subject, but not really. Again, like the point of it is,
Everybody goes through it, so I don't know why it's so
yeah.
touchy.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about next week. We'll actually be talking about doing holidays differently when you have to start doing holidays differently than what you've been used to, especially when you get married and now you have extended family that you're
Mm,
like having to adjust your holiday traditions
yeah.
for your spouse's holiday traditions. And I'm super excited to talk about that. But that's it. Thank you so much for joining Working Together-ish. Please take a moment to subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate that. And we hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for listening. Working Together-ish is produced by Lauren Jackson at the Rockwell team. The theme song is Stab at Love by The Shiny Darks.